Hello again. Welcome to the Quilt Candy virtual trunk show. And I hope you've been visiting all of the other great designers. I know there was a fabulous lineup today, so I didn't get to see them because, of course, I was prepping for this. So here's what we're going to do today. You may or may not know this, but I design fabric for Island Batik. So I thought, why not give you a look at some of the Island Batik quilts that I have designed. And these are some of my personal favorites. So we're going to look at these together. Now, first up, right behind me, this is Atomic Bombshell. Now, this one is near and dear to my heart for a lot of reasons. This was the first fabric line that I designed for Island Batik. Batiks Go Retro. I love, love, love that line. Of course, I love all of my lines, so what can I say? But I really, really love that mid-century vibe, so that's what I was trying to create with this pattern, is to capture some of those, that mid-century feel, right? That mid-century modern. So I feel like I kind of got it with this one. It is paper pieced because that enables you to get all of these lovely diamonds and these lovely sharp points. Now, if you were in the trunk show, my last trunk show that I did, you may be thinking, well, wait a minute, Tammy, you said you could do diamonds with guided improv. Well, of course you can, yes. But you'll also remember that I said with guided improv, it's not perfect, that you're going to get a reasonable facsimile, but your shapes are not going to be perfect. So with Atomic Bombshell, I really wanted crisp. Hey, Tony! I really wanted crisp shapes, and I wanted continuity. I wanted everything to be very precise. So this one is, hey, Leanne! Oh, thank you! So this one, Atomic Bombshell, it is paper piece. And I do love paper piecing, but there's a lot of different styles of quilts that I like. So let's look at some more. Now, I just realized I said this is going to be Island Batik, but we're just going to sneak one in here. Because I pulled it out, I was thinking, what are my favorite quilts? This one is To the Right. And this is one of my more modern quilts. Very simple. So it stitches up pretty quickly, and there's an awesome story behind this. This came about when my youngest, Samantha, went away to college. So if you're a parent, your world is focused on your kids, right? But when they leave you, when they go to college, they've really taken that next step towards independence. And for me, this was my expression of that. That's how this design came about, To the Right, because she was the youngest, so she was the center of my world, and then she goes off to college, and my center shifted. And that's what this is. It's not dead center, get it? To the right. So I always think it's kind of fun to figure out and to hear where some designs came from. So To the Right, while it is an Island Batik, like I said, I everything else is Island Batik fabrics. This one is not, but it is one of my favorites. Now, this one is Modern Churn. And this one, I took a very classic block, like a lot of modern quilts do. Hey, Carol Allen from Happy Jack. I just love Happy Jack, Arizona. Such a cool name for a town. This is Modern Churn, and I like Modern Churn because it has that nod to traditional, like a lot of modern quilts do. The churn dash is a very traditional block, but it gets a modern spin because of a lot of different things that are going on here. One, you've got the different size blocks, okay? Definitely, let's see if I can get these out of the way, get this to lay a little flatter for you. There you go. So you've got the different size blocks, different scale, you have the overlapping, and you've got a respectable amount of negative space. So if you wanted to play around with it and do some awesome quilting in that negative space, you could. And while I know y'all can't see it, I will tell you my quilt fairy, Pat Yearwood, she did an amazing job each one of these areas has a different quilting motif. So she really embraced that modern aesthetic. So yes, I love churn dash blocks. They do show up in a lot of my projects. This is the first one where I played around with the scale and varied the scale of that block. But I'm working on another one that I'm going to do the same thing with. So this one that is behind here, why do I like this one so much? I don't know. I really do. This is Shards, and it's one of those super simple quilts. So I like it for that. I like it because it has a lot of different colors going on. And then if you were in my auditioning fabrics class, we talked about backgrounds a little bit. One of the things I like about this version of Shards, I've done it several different times, but in this version with the Island Batik fabrics, I like it because my background is not a solid. I've gone with a fairly large scale mixed color background that pulls in the shards of color that you see here, and it really keeps the eye moving. But because it's a more subdued overall print, it doesn't really feel as busy as some really stark motifs would. So I think it works, and I love it. Gives it a softer feel, but you can still see those pops of color from the Shards. Okay, all right. Now this next one is near and dear to my heart. Does not get a lot of love. I'm just gonna be honest with you, but I really wish it did. This is Mary's Contrary Garden, and this quilt makes me smile when I look at it. It's so happy, and it is so stinking easy. Now, while it's not guided improv, it is flip and stitch. So anybody that has been quilting for a while, do y'all remember when stitch and flip and stitch, whatever you want to call it, was all the rage? I designed this a little towards the tail end of that. So these big blooms are made with stitch and flip technique, which means that everybody's is going to look a little bit different, but it's super easy to create those big happy blooms. And right now, I think we all need a little bloom in our life, right? A little bit of sunshine. So I absolutely wanted to share Mary's Contrary Garden with you because, like I said, when I look at it, it just makes me smile. It's a happy little quilt. Now, next up, how am I doing on time? Want to make sure that, oh gosh, I got tons of time. Woo, I need to slow down, maybe. I have some small projects I wanted to share with you. So I did pull out projects that were my favorites. So this one, so that's all I had hung up. This is a small one. This, I'm going to hold it up. This is Ins and Outs. Now, I love this for so many reasons. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to come a little closer to the camera. All right, do you see these strips? Yes, they are dimensional. How fun is that? Yes, super fun. So not only do you have this fun aspect of the dimensional woven strips, this is also a quilt as you go. I haven't done a lot of those projects that are quilt as you go. I have one that's going to be releasing next month that's quilt as you go, but I don't do a lot of them. But this is one that I did quilt as you go. This project does the table runner, 2 placemats, 4 mug rugs, and guess what? It uses a jelly roll plus your background fabric. So I really love it. Now, I've made it several times. This one is in an Island Batiks line. I love the nice bright colors, but here's the thing. This is such a versatile project because I did it for my daughter in a really soft floral collection, not Island Batik, but it was those china blues and some whites and soft pinks. Really, really pretty. So just because it had this woven aspect, which has kind of a modern aesthetic to it in the bright colors, it absolutely worked with the florals because then it kind of makes you think trellis. you know, like a flower garden and a trellis. So it's actually really versatile, and it's super fun because I love weaving as well. I love designing fabric. I love making quilts, but I love, love, love weaving as well. So this kind of merged my two worlds. So it really, really made me happy. So I just wanted to share ins and outs with you. Now, funny story. Believe it or not, I do exercise. Obviously, it's not effective, but I do. And a few years ago, I was exercising and, of course, playing a DVD on the TV. And off in my periphery, there's this little wall hanging. And it was like June or July. And the wall hanging was a snowman. And I'm looking at that little wall hanging, and I'm like, I really need something else that would fit in that space that I could swap in and out. So that, because I've already got the hanger, you know, positioned and everything. So if I could come up with another wall hanging or more than one that I could switch in and out, because having a snowman hanging up in June or July doesn't really fit. So that was the thought. So here's what came from that. And this is, I love this project because, again, I don't do a lot of seasonal projects and I don't do a lot of cutesy stuff. But I really like this. So this is my celebration slices. So look at this. All right. So isn't that nice? Isn't that happy and fun? Yeah. So you've got the birthday cake. Okay. But wait. It's called celebration slices because what else do you celebrate? You may celebrate a birthday, anniversary, whatever, with a cake. Sure. You may celebrate Halloween. Isn't that, I know, I'll step back so you can see. Isn't he fun? Super fun. Yes. All right. And then you may celebrate Christmas. So look at this. This is one pattern, but I was playing around with the shapes and was able to, from that same shape, create 3 different celebrations. And because I've been talking about this one a lot lately, I've got some other ideas mapped out in my head for some other holidays. So I'm definitely going to extend it. Yeah, Halloween, right? I love Halloween. I do. I mean, I love, love, love Christmas, but right? Super fun. And what I like about it is, again, playing around with that triangle shape, because I think that's one of the things as quilters, we tend to probably kind of like puzzles, right? And really you're playing around with shapes. So this was playing around with triangles and what can you create from triangles, and they're all the same size. Could we make it double-sided just to turn it? So do you mean stitch it double-sided at the same time? That's quite a challenge. But could you make, and that's a very clever idea. So yes. So you mean like could you make the Halloween and then make the Christmas and then just put them front to back and then maybe put hangers up here? That's very clever. That's very clever. I'll have to suggest that to people, because then you've only got one set of batting, and because the shapes are the same, as long as you kept your borders the same size, that would absolutely work. That is a fabulous idea. Love it. Love it. Keep the ideas rolling. Y'all just come on. Bombard me with ideas. That's super fun. Okay. I showed you some guided improv last time I was here, and I'm checking my phone, just trying to be respectful of the time. Oh my gosh, I talked way too long. Okay, so this last one I wanted to show you is another one of my guided improvs, and I did it. This is my small. This is like the beginner. If you want to try guided improv, but don't really want to tackle a big project, this is my pointed comments. And I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it. All right. So this is a small project, so you can do the table runner or wall hanging and little placemats. And I've made it a lot. I made it, this was in my Globetrotter line that I designed for Island Batik. And then I did it in, oh wait, my Globetrotter line for Island Batik in the blues and browns. And then, because I really like this pattern, I did it again in, oh, here it is. I did it in my Speakeasy line. Okay, love the purples, right? And then, oh wait, I did it again in Krista Watson's Geopop line. And if you were in my auditioning fabrics class, we talked about this quilt. I showed y'all a little bit of it because we talked about a non-directional fabric for background. Oh, and fun fact, so I'm getting ready for, I'm participating in that studio cleanup blog hop that Cheryl Sloboda has going on. So it's good to clean up the studio because I stumbled upon some starter kits. So starter kits, they're for the, to the point, point of comments pattern. It's just to make a placemat. So it's just the fabric and it's assorted fabrics from the Globetrotter line, but just to make the placemat. So I'm going to be throwing those up on the website. Not wanting to sell y'all, but I just stumbled across that today when I was cleaning up the studio and just wanted to let you know. So I have gone over time, but hey, listen, I am so appreciative of you coming and looking at my quilts with me and letting me share some of the Island Batik love. I hope that you are visiting all of the other quilters. Remember, the full schedule is up on my website. I've been posting the schedule every day. And please, please, please share. Share this video. Share it with your friends. Share it on your Facebook page. That would be amazing. And I hope to see you again soon. Happy stitching.